Hi friends, welcome to Talent Sprint's Banker's Choice program. In this session, we are going to discuss a very important topic from reasoning, that is circular arrangements. In circular arrangements, we need to arrange a group of 6 or 8 persons around a circular table based on the given information. Circular arrangements are generally classified into two types: simple circular arrangements and complex circular arrangements. In case of simple circular arrangements, we only have to arrange the given persons around the circular table. Whereas in case of complex circular arrangements, we not only have to assign the different persons around the circular table, but also assign different professions to each of these persons. To solve questions from circular arrangements, we need to be clear with two concepts. One is the direction sense, that is, what would be the left or right of a person when he is sitting around a circular table. And the second point here is to understand the various types of statements given in case of circular arrangements. So let us first understand the direction sense to solve questions related to circular arrangements. There are two possible positions for persons who are sitting around a circular table. The first one is that all the persons are facing the center, and the second one is that the persons are facing outwards. So let us understand what is the difference in these two cases. Let us assume that a group of 4 persons are to be seated around a circular table such that all the 4 persons are facing center. So let us now take the case of people facing center. Let us assume this is a circular table which has got 4 persons in these 4 positions. And all these 4 persons are facing the center. That means each of these persons can see the remaining persons. Now in such a case, how to understand the left and right direction of a person? Let us now assume that a person is sitting in this position facing the center. Now as we can see from this position, the left of this person who is facing center should be in this direction. That is nothing but the clockwise direction as per the movement of hands of a clock. So the left of the person should always be in the clockwise direction, and the right of the person should be in this direction, that is anti-clockwise direction. So we can say that when we need to consider the left side of this person, we have to move in the clockwise direction. So this is the clockwise direction, and when we have to take the right side of the person, we need to move in the anti-clockwise direction. Not only for this position, but for all the positions around this circle, when the person is facing the center, the left of the person should be taken in the clockwise direction and the right of the person should be considered in the anti-clockwise direction. Now the second type of arrangement is a group of persons sitting around a circle facing outwards. Now in this case, again let us assume that this is a circular table where the 4 persons have been seated facing outwards. So the 4 positions can be marked as shown. And since the persons are facing outwards, let us take the arrow in the outward direction, meaning that these persons cannot see each other. Their backs are facing the center and these persons are facing outwards. Now in such a case, how to take the left or right of a person? Let us assume that a person is sitting in this position as shown. Now since the person is facing outwards, the left of this person should be in this direction. Therefore, we can say that the left of the person is in anti-clockwise direction. As you can see, this is anti-clockwise. And the right of this person should be towards the clockwise direction. So the right of the person will be in the clockwise direction. And again, as mentioned earlier, not only for this position, but for any position around the circle, when a person is facing outwards, the left of the person should be taken in anti-clockwise direction and the right of the person should be taken in the clockwise direction. So friends, this is a very important point without which we cannot solve questions from circular arrangements. So now we can conclude saying that when a person is facing the center, the left of the person should be taken in clockwise direction and right of the person should be taken in anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, when a person is facing outward, left should be taken in anti-clockwise direction and right should be taken in the clockwise direction. And to understand this, let us make a small table here which gives you the complete information about the direction sense. Now as we have already learned, when a person is facing center, left of the person should be taken in clockwise direction. So we can say that the left of the person is in clockwise direction and the right of the person should be in anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, when a person is facing outwards, as in the second case, the left of the person will be in anti-clockwise direction and the right of the person should be in the clockwise direction. So with the help of this table, we can always understand what should be the left or right of a person when he is facing center or outwards. The other point which should be understood here is whenever a group of persons are facing center, it is always better to start from the bottom position, that is this position, because the left of the person is nothing but towards our left and the right of the person will be towards our right. Similarly, when a group of persons are facing outwards, it is always better to start the arrangement from the top position, because when a person is taken in the top position facing outwards, left of the person will be towards our left and right of the person will be towards our right. So it will be convenient for us to start the circular arrangement. So always remember that whenever persons are facing center, start from the bottom of the circle, and whenever the persons are facing outwards, start from top of the circle. After learning the direction sense in case of circular arrangements, let us now look at the different types of statements which are given in these type of questions. Now as you can see here, generally there are two types of statements given. The first one here is A is second to the left of B and third to the right of C. As you can see here, the complete sentence can be divided into two parts. The first part is A is second to the left of B. So depending on the arrangement, we can mark A two places to the left of B. And the second part of the sentence is and third to the right of C. Now the question is, who is third to the right of C? Is it A or B? The point to be understood here is whenever the word and is used in between two statements, we always refer to the first person. So here we can say that A is second to the left of B and A is third to the right of C. So the second part of the statement now is A is third to the right of C. So once we mark A second to the left of B, then we can mark him accordingly as third to the right of C. So remember, whenever the word and is used, we always refer to the first person but not the immediate preceding person. Similarly, sometimes instead of the word and, the word but is used. Even in this case, that is A is second to the left of B but third to the right of C, we always refer to the first person in the second part of the statement. And the third possible case would be while. That is, the statement would be A is second to the left of B while third to the right of C. So we should take it in such a way that A is second to the left of B and A is third to the right of C. So from this statement we can understand that whenever a conjunction like and, but or while is used to connect two different statements, we can understand that the second statement always refers to the first person. Let us now take the second type of statement which is given in case of circular arrangements. Here the statement is A is second to the left of B who is third to the right of C. As you can observe, the difference between type 1 and type 2 statement here is only that in place of the words and or but or while, here we have the word who. Now again, even this statement can be divided into two parts. The first part here is A is second to the left of B. So we can mark A two places to the left of B. And the second part is who is third to the right of C. Now again, the same question arises. Who is the person referred in the second statement? Now remember, whenever the word who is used, always the person referred is the immediate preceding one to the word who. So we can say that A is second to the left of B and B is third to the right of C. So very clearly, whenever the word who is used, we always refer to the immediate preceding person before the word who. So we can say that there are two parts in the statement. The first part is A is second to the left of B and B is third to the right of C. So friends, depending on the two types of statements, we always need to first understand who is the person referred and then try to complete the arrangement. Let us now take the first model from circular arrangements where we are going to solve a simple circular arrangement. As I have already mentioned, in case of simple circular arrangement, we need to arrange the given group of persons around a circular table. Before we take up an example, let us quickly revise the 2 points that we have just discussed. The first point was regarding the direction sense, that is the left or a right of a person when they are arranged around a circular table. We know that there are 2 possible cases. Either the persons are facing center or they are facing outwards. So when the persons are facing center, left of the person should be taken in the clockwise direction and right of the person should be taken in the anti-clockwise direction. Whereas when the persons are facing outwards, left should be taken in anti-clockwise direction and right should be taken in the clockwise direction. The second point was the various types of statements that we get. Whenever the conjunction and or but or while is used, we always refer to the first person, and whenever the word who is used, we always refer to the second person. So with this knowledge, let us now solve the given circular arrangement. The question here is A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H are sitting around a circle facing the center. So as given here, there are 8 persons A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H who are sitting around the circle facing the center. Remember, before we solve any circular arrangement, the first rule is we have to count the number of persons and mark their positions. So as we can see here, there are 8 persons. So let us mark the 8 positions around the circle. So these are the 4 positions and the remaining 4 are as shown. So these are the 8 positions around the circle, and we know that all of them are facing the center. So left should be in the clockwise direction and right should be in the anti-clockwise direction. Also, whenever persons are facing center, start from bottom of the circle, as it is convenient for us to move to the left or right of this person. Now let us read the given statements one by one and complete the arrangement. The first statement here is H is 4th to the left of B and 2nd to the right of F. As we have discussed, whenever the word and is used, we refer to the first person in the second part of the statement. So here we can break the complete sentence into 2 parts. That is, H is 4th to the left of B and H is 2nd to the right of F. So let us now use the first part, that is H is 4th to the left of B. As we know that we always start from the bottom of the circle when they are facing center, let us assume that B is taking this position. We know that H is 4th to the left of B. Left of B should be towards our left. So 4th to the left of B should be 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this position should be occupied by H. Now the other part of the statement is and 2nd to the right of F. We know that whenever and is used, we refer to the first person. So we can say H is 2nd to the right of F. So let us now use that statement to mark the position of F. H is 2nd to the right of F. When H is 2nd to the right of F, it is obvious that F is 2nd to the left of H. So we now know that F should be 2nd to the left of H, and left of H should be in the clockwise direction as they are facing center. So 2nd to the left of H, 1 and 2. This place should be occupied by F. So now we have marked 3 persons H, B and F on the circular table. Let us now take the next statement, that is A is 3rd to the left of C, who is not an immediate neighbor of F. We have already discussed that whenever the word who is used, we always refer to the immediate preceding person, that is C. So we can break the given sentence into 2 parts. The first part is A is 3rd to the left of C, and the second part is C is not an immediate neighbor of F. Now, neither A nor C is marked on the circular table, so we cannot use the first part of the given sentence. But the second part says C is not an immediate neighbor of F. So since C is not an immediate neighbor of F, we can say that C cannot come in these 2 places. And we are indicating that with a cross mark followed by C, which means C cannot occupy these 2 places, but it can come in the remaining positions. And the remaining positions which are vacant are 1, 2 and 3. So C can come in any of these 3 places. Let us try and find out which is that position out of these 3 where C should sit. We know that A is 3rd to the left of C. So if C takes this place, A should be 3rd to the left of C. which is nothing but in the clockwise direction. So if C comes here, A should be coming 1, 2 and 3 places away, that is in this position. But since this place is already occupied by F, we cannot make A sit there. So very clearly C cannot come in this place as well, because if C comes here, A should come here, which is not possible. The second possibility for C is this position. Again, if C comes here, A should be third to the left of C. So 1, 2 and 3, A should be coming here. So we can say that if C comes here, A can come in this place. We are not marking C and A outside the circle because it is not yet confirmed that she should be taking this place. Whatever is tentative, we should always mark within the circle. Once it is fixed, we can bring it out to confirm the position. Now, the next possibility for C is this place. If C comes here, A should be third to the left of C. So third to the left of C should be in the clockwise direction. So if C is here, 1, 2 and 3, this place should be occupied by A. But as this place is already occupied by H, A cannot come there. And if A cannot come here, C cannot come in this position. So we can now say that C cannot come in this position as well. So as you have seen from the given statement, that is A is third to the left of C, who is not an immediate neighbor of F, we came out with 3 possibilities for C. But out of these 3, 2 have been cancelled. So now the definite position for C should be this one. So we can now fix C in that place. And if C comes here, A should be coming in this position, as A is third to the left of C. So we can say that A comes in this place. So far we have marked 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 persons on the table, and 3 more are left out. Let us now take the next statement, that is G is second to the left of A. As we already have got the position of A, we can clearly mark the person G. He is second to the left of A. Now left of A is nothing but in the clockwise direction. So second to the left of A should be 1 and 2. So we can say that G comes in this position. As you can see, we have already placed 6 persons on the table and 2 positions are lying vacant, which can be filled with the last statement, that is D is second to the right of E. Now we know that right of E is nothing but in the anti-clockwise direction, since the persons here are facing the center. So if E comes in a particular position, D should be in the anti-clockwise direction of E, that is nothing but in this direction. So with this sort of arrangement and these 2 positions lying vacant, it is very clear that E should come in this place and D should be last place. And as you can see here, D is in the anti-clockwise direction of E, that is nothing but to the right of E. If we place the 2 persons D and E in an interchange manner, the condition gets violated. So that's how we have to place E and D. So with this, we have finished the given simple circular arrangement. Let us now run through these questions and see what are the correct answers. The first question is, who is on the immediate right of F? We know that F is in this position and right of F is nothing but in the anti-clockwise direction. So the person who comes immediately in the anti-clockwise direction of F is A. So we can say that the person who is on the immediate right of F is A. The second question is, who is third to the left of A? Now A is in this position and left of A is in the clockwise direction. So in the clockwise direction, the person who comes third is B. So we can say that B is third to the left of A. The next statement is, which of the following pairs has the first person sitting on the immediate left of the second person? So from the given 5 options, we have to check in which of the options the first person is to the left of second person. Now this question can be answered only by eliminating the wrong answer options. The first option here is E and H, and as per the given statement, the first person, that is E, is on the immediate left of H. Now by looking at the positions of E and H, we know that E is on the right of H, whereas the statement says E is on the left of H. So this is the wrong answer. The second option is C and E. So again, C, that is the first person, is on the immediate left of E. If you look at the positions of C and E, C is on the right of E. So again, even option 2 gets cancelled. The third option is AF, that is A is on the immediate left of F. By looking at the positions of A and F, we find that A is on the right of F. So even third option gets cancelled. The fourth option is DB. Going by the statement, the first person D should be on the left of second person B. So D should be on the left of B. And if you observe from the given arrangement, D is on the left of B, as D is in the clockwise direction of B. So we can say that the fourth option, that is D is on the left of B, is correct. So the answer here is option 4. The fourth question is, which of the following pairs represents immediate neighbors of E? So we need to find out the immediate neighbors of E. And from the arrangement we know that immediate neighbors of E are C and H. So the answer for question number 4 should be C and H. They are the immediate neighbors of E. The last question here is, who is on the immediate right of H? We know that right of H should be in the anti-clockwise direction, and the person who is immediate on the right of H is E. So the answer for question number 5 here is E. So friends, as you have seen, answering these 5 questions doesn't take any time, but we need to properly do the given circular arrangement before we go for those questions. So read the statements properly, and in a step-by-step procedure you can complete the circular arrangement with the points that we have discussed earlier. Let us now take the second model from circular arrangements, where we are supposed to do a complex circular arrangement. As I have already mentioned, in case of complex circular arrangements, we not only have to arrange the given group of people around the circular table, but also assign their professions accordingly. Let us look at the question here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H are sitting around a circular table facing the center. Each of them has a different profession, that is doctor, engineer, architect, pilot, banker, teacher, businessman and politician. So as we can see here, there are a total of 8 persons, A to H, who are sitting around a circle facing the center, and 8 different professions have been specified. So we need to arrange these 8 persons around the table with the correct professions for each of the persons. Let us first mark the 8 positions around the circular table as shown here. So the 8 positions can be taken as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And we also know that all these 8 persons are facing the center. So each of the persons is looking at the center, and that means they can all see each other. And as we have discussed, whenever a group of persons are facing center, left of the person should always be towards the clockwise direction, and the right of the person should always be taken in the anti-clockwise direction. Now let us read the given statements one by one and try to mark the positions of these persons around the table. The first statement here is, the politician sits third to the right of G. So the person who is the politician has to sit 3 places away to the right of G. Now as we have discussed earlier, it is always better to start from the bottom of the circle when the persons are facing the center. So let us assume that this position is occupied by G. And since we know that the politician sits third to the right of G, we should place him towards the right, as the right of G will be in the anti-clockwise direction. So 3 places away from G, that is 1, 2 and 3. This place has to be occupied by the politician. So we can say that the politician sits in this position. The next statement is, C is an immediate neighbor of G. So C has to be immediately either on the left of G or the right of G. So we can say that C either comes to the right of G or to the left of G. Now since there are 2 possibilities, let us simply mark them tentatively inside the circle. Once the position of C is confirmed, we will mark it outside, and that will fix the position of C. The next statement is, the architect sits second to the right of C. The architect should sit second to the right of C. That is nothing but second in the anti-clockwise direction of C. Now since we have two possibilities for C here, there will be two possibilities for the architect. So let us verify which could be the correct one. For some time, let us assume that C should come in this position. And since we know that the architect sits second to the right of C, we should move in the anti-clockwise direction of C. So we can say that if C takes this position, the architect should be coming two places, that is 1 and 2, towards the right of C. That should be this position. But since this place is already occupied by politician, we know that architect cannot sit here. So very clearly, this is not the correct position of C. And since the only other possibility for C is to the left of G, we can say that the correct position of C is to the left of G. And now we know that the architect sits second to the right of C. So to the right of C is in the anti-clockwise direction. So 1 and 2, this place should be occupied by the architect. So far we have fixed two persons, C and G, and two professions, that is architect and politician, on the table. Let us now move to the next statement. The next statement here is B sits third to the right of H. And also H is neither a politician nor an architect. So we know that B should sit third to the right of H, and H is neither a politician nor an architect. Since we already have politician and architect fixed on the circular table here, we can say that these two positions will not be occupied by H. So we can simply mark it as cross with H, indicating that H cannot take these two positions, since H is neither a politician nor an architect. So now we can say that there are a total of 4 positions available for H, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Since in these two places H cannot sit, and these two places are already occupied by C and G. We also know that B sits third to the right of H. So let us now try to find out which can be the possible position for B with respect to all the 4 possibilities for H. Let us check them one by one. Let us assume H takes this position. Now since B sits third to the right of H, we should move in the anti-clockwise direction. So if H comes in this position, B should be sitting 3 places away, that is 1, 2 and 3. So we can say that if H occupies this place, B should be coming in this position. And let us indicate this pair as H1, B1. That is, these two should always come together. The second possibility for H is this position. But if H comes here, B should be coming 3 places to the right of H, since we know that B sits third to the right of H. So assuming that H comes in this place, we can say that 1, 2 and 3, this place should be occupied by B. But since it is already occupied by C, B cannot come here. And if B cannot come here, H cannot come in this position. So now we can say that H cannot take the given position. Let us now take the third possibility, that is H can take this place. If H takes this place, again we know that B should come third to the right of H, that is 1, 2 and 3 in the anti-clockwise direction. That is, if H comes here, B should be taking this place. But since this position is already occupied by G, B cannot come here. And if B cannot come here, H cannot take that place. So now we can say that H cannot occupy that place. And the last possibility for H is this position. If H comes here, B should be coming third to the right of H. That is in the anti-clockwise direction. So 1, 2 and 3. This place should be occupied by B. So clearly, if H sits here, B should be coming in this position. Remember, this position so far has not been occupied by any person. We only know that the person who is architect will be sitting here. And it is possible that B is an architect. So we can say that B can come in this position when H takes the extreme left position of the circle. So let us now mark the second possibility for H and B in these two places. And let us indicate it as H2 and B2. Which means if H takes this place, B has to come only in this position. There is no other possibility for B. So far very clearly we can say that H1 and B1 is one possibility for H and B together, and H2 and B2 is the other possibility for H and B together. So either H will be coming in these two places, and accordingly B will be coming in these two places. Let us now take the next statement, which says only one person sits between C and the teacher. So very clearly there should be only one person between C and the position which is occupied by teacher. As we already have C fixed on the table, let us now try to find out what is that position where the teacher can sit. We know that there should be a gap of one person between C and teacher, and teacher can come either on the left of C or on the right of C. If we try to place teacher towards the right of C, so we need to leave one place as there is one person between C and teacher, and this position should be occupied by teacher. But as this place is already occupied by architect, teacher cannot come here. So very clearly teacher should be on the other side of C, that is towards the left of C. So let us leave one position that should be occupied by the person who sits between C and teacher, and this position has to be occupied by the teacher. So as you can see here, we have justified the statement, that is there is only one person between C and teacher, and this position has not been fixed yet. It can be H or maybe some other person. Let us now take the next statement, that is A and F are immediate neighbors of each other, and also neither A nor F is a politician. So we know that A and F are immediate neighbors. That means they should come in two consecutive places on the circular table. And at the same time, we also know that neither A nor F is a politician. Now since politician is already fixed in this position, we can say that A and F cannot take this place, as neither of them is a politician. As we know that A and F are immediate neighbors of each other, we should have two consecutive positions vacant for them to be occupied. So let us find out what are those two places available on the table where A and F can come together. If we observe the one possibility where A and F can come together in these two places, that is either it is AF or FA. It can be interchanged, since we only know that A and F are together, but where exactly A comes or F comes is not known to us. So this is one possibility where A and F can take two places together. The other possibility here is these two positions, that is either A comes here and F comes here, or they can interchange their positions. And since we know that neither A nor F is a politician, these two places cannot be consecutively occupied by A and F. So we cannot take these two as the possible pair, and similarly these two also cannot be taken as a possible pair. Why? Because neither A nor F can come in this place. And then the third possibility for A and F together is this, that is A or F. So if A comes in this place, F will be coming in this place, or they can interchange, that is F takes this place and A takes the given position. So we can say that there are three pairs of consecutive positions available on the table for A and F together. The first pair is these two positions, the second one is these two positions, and the third one is these two positions. But one point which can help us to fix the positions of A and F here is the positions of B and H as a pair. We have already discussed that H1 and B1 together can come either in these two places, or they can together take H2 and B2 as these two positions. If we try to fix A and F in these two positions, we can say that H cannot take this place, since this place will either be occupied by A or F. If H does not take this place, the only possible position for H should be this one. And as we know that if H sits here, B should be sitting in this place. But again, that place is already occupied by either A or F. So if we fix A and F in these two positions, the person B cannot be arranged in any position on the table. So we can say that this is not the possible combination of A and F. Similarly, if we try to fix A and F in these two positions, we find that H1 cannot take this place, as this place should either be occupied by A or F. If H does not take this place, the only possibility for H is this position. But if H sits here, we know that B should be coming here, as H2 and B2 is a pair. But this place is again already occupied by either A or F. So again we find that there is no place available for B. So we can say that A and F cannot take these two consecutive places. So very clearly, the only possibility for A and F to come together are these two positions. So either A comes in this place, F comes in this place, or F takes this place and A takes this place. Now from this point we know that this position, that is which is already taken by teacher, should either be A or F. That means B cannot come here. If B cannot come here, the only possibility for B is this position. So we can now say that B will be coming in this place. That is, B is the architect. And if B takes this place, H should definitely come in this position. So we can now also fix the position of H. So far we can say that H, C, G and B have been fixed, and A and F should be taking any of these two positions. Moving on to the next statement, it says the doctor sits second to the right of A. Now since the position of A is not fixed, A can either take this place or this place. So if A takes this position, the doctor sits second to the right of A, that is in the anti-clockwise direction. So 1 and 2, this position can be occupied by doctor, or if A takes this place, the doctor should be sitting second to the right of A. So 1 and 2 in the anti-clockwise direction, this position can be occupied by doctor. So very clearly, for both the possibilities of A, there are two possible positions for doctor. So since we are not able to fix the doctor or A on the table as of now, let us leave the statement and simply move on to the next point. Remember friends, whenever we are solving complex circular arrangements, there may be a possibility that from the given statement we are not able to extract the required information. So we should simply leave that statement and move on to the next one. And definitely in one of the next statements we will find a link which can help us to extract the complete information. So as of now we can say that the statement, that is the doctor sits second to the right of A, is still pending. That means the information available here has not been used on the circular table. The next statement here is two people sit between D and the engineer, and D is not a politician. So very clearly we know that there should be two people in between D and engineer, and D is not a politician. So again we can say that this position cannot be occupied by D, as D is not a politician. Now if you observe, the only possible position for D should be this place, as these positions have already been fixed, and we know that these two places should be occupied by A or F. And since D cannot come here, the only possibility for D is this position. So we can now fix the position of D. Once we have fixed the position of D, we can also fix the position of the left out person, that is the person E. Why? Because we know that these two positions have to be occupied by A and F, and all the remaining positions have been occupied except politician, and this person has to be E. So we can say that the politician is E. So we have completely arranged all the persons except A and F, and we very well know that A and F should take these two positions. Now the other statement which you have seen is two people sit between D and engineer. So there should be a gap of two people between D and engineer. Let us try out both the possible ways, that is towards the left of D as well as the right of D. If we take engineer towards the right of D, that is in the anti-clockwise direction, we know that two places should be vacant after D, and then it should be engineer. But since that position is already occupied by teacher, engineer cannot come there. So very clearly we can say that engineer should be towards the left of D. So let us now leave two positions, and then engineer should be occupying this place. So we can now say that the profession of C is engineer, and we have justified the statement, that is there are two people between D and the engineer, and the same thing is not possible on the other side as it is occupied by the teacher. The next statement is the pilot is not an immediate neighbor of politician. Now as the politician has already been placed on the table, we can say that these two positions should not be occupied by the pilot, but there are two more positions available, that is either H can be a pilot or G can be a pilot. As the given statement doesn't give the exact information, let us leave it and move to the next one. But before leaving that statement, simply mark it, which means the statement is still pending. The last statement is the banker sits second to the left of A. Now we know that there are two possible positions of A, that is either in this place or in this place. Let us now check both the possible positions of banker with respect to the two possible positions of A. Let us assume A takes this position. Now the left of A should be in the clockwise direction. So we can say that if A comes here, banker should be 1 and 2 places away. But since this place is already occupied by politician, the banker cannot come here. So very clearly we can say that A cannot be the teacher. And as the only possibility for A left out now is this one, it is now clear that A should be taking this position. And if A takes this place, F should be taking the position occupied by teacher. So now we have also fixed A and F on the table. And the statement is banker sits second to the left of A. So to the left of A should be in the clockwise direction and 1 and 2 places away. So we can say that the person who is banker should be D. So we can now say that the banker is nothing but the person D. As all the statements have been read once, let us now go back to those statements which are pending. That is, the doctor sits second to the right of A. We have already fixed the position of A, and the doctor should be to the right of A, that is in the anti-clockwise direction. So 2 places away from A in the anti-clockwise direction should be doctor, 1 and 2. So we can now say that this position is occupied by doctor, or H is the doctor. The other statement which we have left was the pilot is not an immediate neighbor of the politician. So we can say that the pilot cannot take the position occupied by A or the position occupied by D. But since this is already taken by banker and this place cannot be taken by pilot, the only possibility for pilot is the position G, since all the other professions have been fixed. So we can say that the pilot should be the person G. Now once we have fixed the position of pilot, the only profession left out from the given professions is the businessman. And the only person who has not been assigned the profession is the person A. So very clearly we can say that A is the businessman. And this completes the complex circular arrangement. That is, all the 8 persons have been fixed with their correct professions. So friends, as we have seen from this example, complex circular arrangements can be solved only in a structured manner. And if we go wrong in any of the given statements, the complete arrangement goes wrong. So it is always advised that if you get a complex circular arrangement in the exam, attempt it only after the remaining part of the paper is over. Otherwise, you may end up wasting a lot of time and without getting the complete arrangement. Let us now look at the various questions asked based on the circular arrangement that we have just finished. The first question is, who is the businessman? Now from the arrangement we know that the person A is the businessman. So we can say that the answer for question number 1 is A. The second question is, what is the position of F with respect to the politician? We know that the politician is in this place and F is in the anti-clockwise direction of politician. And since the persons are facing center, we know that anti-clockwise direction is nothing but right of the person. So we can say that F is towards the right of politician and he is 2 places away. So the answer should be F is second to the right of politician. So we can say that the position of F with respect to politician is second to the right of politician. The next question is, who sits exactly between the teacher and the engineer? So looking at the positions of engineer and the teacher, we know that the person who sits exactly between teacher and engineer is H. So the answer here should be H, or the person who is doctor. The next question is, which of the following is true? If you look at the options, the first option is D is an immediate neighbor of G. So if you look at the positions of D and G, we know that they are not the immediate neighbors, as there is one person between D and G. So we can say that option 1 is wrong. The second option is G is a banker. From the arrangement we know that G is a pilot. So we can say that even the second option is wrong. The third option is banker and teachers are immediate neighbors of each other. Now from the arrangement we can say that the banker and teacher are not the immediate neighbors of each other, since there are 2, or from this side we can say 4 persons in between them. So very clearly the third option also is wrong. The fourth option is the pilot sits exactly between architect and businessman. Now if you look at the positions of architect and businessman and the position of pilot, very clearly we can say that pilot is not exactly in between architect and businessman. So even the fourth option is wrong. Since already the first four options are wrong, the fifth option has to be correct. That is, the doctor sits second to the right of businessman. If you observe, the doctor actually sits second to the right of businessman, since the doctor is in the anti-clockwise direction. So fifth option is the correct answer. The next question is, what is the profession of G? We know that the profession of G is pilot. So G is pilot. That's the answer. The next question here is, 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way based on the given seating arrangement and thus form a group. Which is the one that does not belong to the group? So out of given 5 options, we need to decide which is the one that does not belong to the given seating arrangement. The first option here is G with doctor. We know that G and doctor is not the correct combination. The second option is E and architect. Again, we know that E and architect is not the correct combination. The third one is H and businessman. We know that H is not a businessman but a doctor. So H and businessman is not the correct combination. The fourth one is E and politician. If you observe, E and politician is the correct combination. So maybe that's the correct answer. And the last option here is D and pilot. If you observe, D and pilot also is not a correct combination, since D is a banker. So very clearly the correct answer has to be option 4, since that is the only correct combination out of the given options. The last question is, what is the profession of E? And from the arrangement we know that E is a politician. So we can say that the answer for question number 7 is politician. So the profession of E is politician. So friends, as you have seen here, there are 7 questions asked after this circular arrangement, which are very easy to solve once the arrangement is done properly. So we can say that answering the question doesn't take any time, but the only thing we need to do carefully is the complete circular arrangement. So as already mentioned, try to be very careful while solving complex circular arrangements and attempt this question only at the end of the paper. So that's all from circular arrangements. See you in the next session. Thank you.